Hey, what's up guys? Johnny Pagnini here. Check this out. Today I'm going to teach you how to wholesale real estate step by step. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is just getting your mindset right, okay? You might say, this is kind of a weird one, but here's the thing. What you have to do in this business, and it's not easy, is you have to declare that you're going to win. Okay, there will be challenges, there'll be tough times, and you got to be mentally tough and say to yourself, like, look, I can win in this space, and then I'm going to do it no matter whatever it takes, okay? And you need to start learning to call yourself an investor, okay? And that's a kind of a weird one, especially if you're really new. But here's what I can promise you. You will never get any real estate deals if you can't tell somebody, I'm a real estate investor, I'm looking to buy properties. So I need you to get into that mindset, that space today, okay? You need to change your behavior patterns. And what you need to think about is, what do successful real estate investors do every single day? So then you can become like that and start doing those activities. This is 100% about the activities you do day in and day out, okay? So you need to change those behavior patterns. You need to have positive self-talk, okay? And this is something that I personally struggle with when I'm having a rough day or I'm not doing well or something not really great happens. I'm like, self-doubt starts kicking in and all that stuff. And I have to remind myself, like, to be my own best friend, to be my biggest cheerleader, you need to be in your corner, because if you're not in your corner, nobody else will. So you need to be your own best cheerleader, okay? Biggest cheerleader. The last thing, you need to make sure that you're reading books, okay? And there's all kinds of books that you can read. When I learned about personal growth and self-development, my life completely changed, okay? And so you want to start reading books and start getting on the path to changing your behavior patterns, who you are, and start creating habits. And books are going to be a really big part of that. I know it sounds super boring, but I promise you, if you start picking up books and reading and learning from other people's mistakes, your life will get better, okay? And I'm going to put my top 5 favorite books. I'm gonna put links in the description down below for you, okay? The next thing you need to do is you need to write down your why. You need to write down why you're in this business, why you're doing it in the first place. Maybe that's to take your family on a vacation. Maybe that's to retire your parents. Whatever that is for you, you need to identify it. So that way, when things get difficult, you can go back and say, okay, this is why I'm doing it. For me, I have Post-its all along the bottom of my computers here, because that keeps me going when I get off a call with somebody, you know, who I don't want to be on the phone with, okay? And that will happen. So you need to stay motivated. You need to remember your why and have that in front of you all the stinking time, okay? You want to set a SMART goal. So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Specific, I want to lock up my first deal. Measurable, how many? I want just one. Let's get my first one under my belt. Achievable, right? You can't say I want to lock up 10 deals in 2 days. It's just never going to happen, okay? So it's got to be achievable. It needs to be relevant, which is just self-explanatory. And it needs to be time-bound, okay? You need to put a time limit. I want to lock up my first deal in the next 30 days, okay? That should be everyone's goal when they get into this business. You need to choose, okay, so now I'm gonna get into kind of some of the other stuff. You need to choose your market, okay? And what I tell everybody is, always start in your backyard. So when you're calling people, you can reference different landmarks. It's gonna make it easy to talk about, yeah, I live right over by the Taco Bell over on, Main Street in Warner or whatever. You can reference something that's gonna be able to help you create rapport with people that you're talking to. And then once you're kind of familiar with how to call and how to talk to people, you can, maybe go into some virtual markets, go offline a little bit in some different markets in some different areas. But you want to get the marbles out of your mouth a little bit and learn how to talk to people about potentially buying their property. Starting in your backyard is going to be a really great way to do that. And when I say that, I mean like 1 or 2 days, okay? Now you want to choose on market or off market real quick. Off market is basically going to be mostly distressed situations. It's going to be people who are in a pre-foreclosure situation, or maybe have tax liens, or maybe it's not distressed and you're talking to like a tired landlord. These can be more difficult deals to negotiate. I usually tell everybody, I always tell everybody, start on market, because when you're calling properties that are currently listed, you're going to be calling agents, and these agents, their job is to sell the property. They might not want to be talking to you, but their job is to talk to you. And so now you're talking to somebody about actually buying a property, and the person on the other line is usually going to be more receptive, and it's easier to have conversations. So I always say get good at flowing through the conversations, right? I say we want Navy SEALs, not baby SEAls. Okay, that actually comes from Coach Burt. And what I mean is, Navy SEAls, they practice, and then when it's showtime, they absolutely kill it. Like literally, they kill it. But my point is that excuse me, you want to understand the scripts and how to flow through them. So when you get on a call with somebody, it's really easy for you just to work your way through it, okay? And if you don't have any scripts, the third link in the description down below is going to get you my scripts. You can have those for free. The next thing you want to do is you want to find cash buyers in your market. Now, this is my buy box. I posted this, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago in a couple groups. The easiest way to find cash buyers. Now, cash buyers are going to be the investors you are going to sell the deal to. So you're going to find the deal and you need to sell it to a cash buyer who's actually going to come in and flip the property or turn it into a rental. And you need to find these people. Now, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. And I find the easiest way to do it is to go into some different Facebook groups. And then when you're in there, you can just search for cash buyers, and when you see them, you identify them and you can see what they want to buy. Some people will tell you to reach out to those cash buyers and have conversations and let them know you're looking for properties, but I find that to be really difficult for new investors because you don't necessarily know what to say. And I'm a cash buyer, I buy properties, and when someone new calls me, I'm like, this is a little bit of a waste of time. If you just, here's my buy box, go find something that fits this. If it's a deal, I'm going to buy it. Most investors are that way. If it's something they can make money on, they're going to buy it from you. Okay, so go look for buy boxes posted in Facebook groups. Promise you, you're going to find a bunch of them, and it's going to save you a lot of time for just, from just calling people. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to get some prospecting software. Now, all of these softwares serve a different purpose. Okay, Zillow is really great for finding on market properties, and it's free. PropWire is really good for also finding on market properties, doing skip tracing and those types of things. It is also free. PropStream you can find all kinds of stuff. It's really for somebody who maybe has a $100 or $200 a month budget that they can spend on looking for leads. It's going to save you time. I find PropStream to be really cumbersome for a new person, and Privy is what I really recommend for everybody because you can find on-market deals. You can go in there and you can tell it, find me deals, find me properties that are currently on market below market value, and it will just list them for you. And so it saves a lot of time. It does cost money. I think it's $100 or $150 a month. I am an affiliate. The fourth link in the description, you can use my link. You don't have to, but I definitely recommend if you're going to spend money, this is a great place to start. You don't have to. You can use Zillow. It's just going to take a little bit more time. Okay, also, I obviously have a wholesaling course. The second link in the description is going to get you information on that. Discount code Godwins will get you 20% off. So the next thing you're going to do now that you have prospecting software and you can find leads and stuff is you're going to start calling every single day. When you do that, you're going to talk to the agents about the current listing. Tell me about the listing. Does it need rehab? What's the area look like? If I fix it, what do you think I can get for an ARV? What do you think that is if I were to put money into it? Create rapport with that agent and become their go-to investor, okay? You want to position yourself as their go-to investor. Let them know I'm looking for properties like this. I'll give you an offer on this property that's on market, but what else do you got? Do you have any other opportunities? Any off-market properties? Any upcoming listings? Any listings inside the brokerage we can write an offer on today? I'm here to buy something. Can you help me, okay? And position yourself that way, and you're going to find referral partners, and you are going to get deals. Now, remember, when you're on the phone with the agent, you are not negotiating price on this first call. I never put a price out there. I never say, oh, well, what do you think about this number? What do you think the go-to? I never say that on this first call. I'm just like, give me some information about the property. I'm going to jump offline, and then I will come back and I will put my numbers in front of you and let you know where I'm going to be. We're not negotiating on the first call. So now that you've gone offline and you've got information about the property, you're basically going to underwrite the deal. You're going to see, where do I need to be on this property for it to make sense for me? Now, understand that the seller is always going to want more than the property is worth. So here's the thing. I want you to imagine I want to sell you my cell phone. I'm like, look, I want $10,000 for my iPhone. You'd be like, dude, that doesn't work for me. Like, I have to clean it. I've got to replace the screen. I've got to put a new case on it. And then I got to resell it and make money. In order for me to do that, I need to buy it at this number. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. So we always want to be aware of what the buyer wants as their sale price, but the number that really matters is our number. And what we want to do is we want to underwrite the property, and that just basically means evaluate it as many ways as possible. If we were going to buy it cash, this would be our number. If we were gonna do a seller finance deal, this would be our number. If we were gonna buy the property subject to, this is what that might look like, okay? And we wanna underwrite it, and then what we wanna do is we wanna send a letter of intent with all of that information to them so they can see it. And there's, first thing, the letter of intent is not legally binding. It's just the terms of what we might potentially put in a contract, okay? It just outlines the terms. It helps you eliminate confusion and all the miscommunication. This is what we want to do. Tell me, is this something that your seller would be interested in? And then what we do is we just relentlessly follow up. Agent, did you present that to your seller? Did you talk to your seller about my offers? Are they interested? Do you want to get on a call? Do you want to, do you want to get on a call and I can go over the information with you? We can talk through it and see what the numbers need to look like for you, or really for your seller. I can answer any questions. And then what we do is once they say, yeah, we want to massage the numbers a little bit, and we come up with a number that works for everybody, we're going to have the agent draft the agreement or the actual purchase contract for us, send it over for us to review and sign, okay? And what I do with the agents is I say, look, why don't we split the buyer side commission? So if it's 2% of the sale price, you take 1% and I want to take 1% to cover my closing costs. And usually the listing agent is okay with that, but you need to ask for that up front. Because if you give them a little bit of the buyer side commission, they're going to be stoked. They're making more making more money. They're going to be more inclined to work with you, even though they really shouldn't be. Of course they're going to be, because they're monetarily incentivized. So we want to give them some money, and we want to use some of that money towards our closing costs as well. So just a couple things to keep in mind about the contract. When it comes over to be signed, we want to make sure that there is an inspection contingency and that you give yourself some time to sell the property to investors. And what that means is you're going to have to put down some EMD. There's going to be some money you need to send to escrow. That might be $1,000, that might be $2,000, that might be $10,000. You want to give yourself some time to be able to cancel the contract and get that money back, okay? And the way we position that is we tell the agent, look, I need some time to go out there and look at this property. I love it. I think I want to buy it. I'm pretty sure I want to buy it, but I need to make sure that the roof's not caving in. I'm just looking at pictures. I got to go out there and check it out. And I need time to make sure that this property works. What I do during that time is I send a general contractor out there who looks over it, and that person will give me a bid on what the rehab looks like. And now I know exactly what it's going to take to rehab this property. And then I can scrub my numbers to see if they make sense. And then what you want to do is you want to relentlessly follow up, right? So I've now sent the contract. It doesn't mean it's been signed. So I need to make sure that the listing agent is talking with their seller. Hey, is everything good? Are we getting this signed? Are the numbers good? How do we get this to the finish line? Just relentlessly follow up on that, okay? Once the contract is signed, we want to make sure that we have a marketing package and that we send it to our buyers list. So we want to make it easy for the end buyer, our investor that we are selling this property to. We want to make it easy for them to buy. And that means we want to get them comps so they can see ARV. Mr. Investor, if you put X amount of money, the contractor says it's going to take 80 grand. If you put 80 grand into this property, it's going to be worth this number, okay? We want to make it real easy for the investor to say, boom, that's a deal, I want to buy it, okay? We need to show our entry fee, and that's basically the amount of money that's going to need to be paid at the very beginning to close the deal, okay? It's going to be EMD, it's going to be down payment, it's going to be rehab cost and all that good stuff. We want to get that number out in front of them so they can make an informed decision. Of course, we want to show potential revenue, how much money they can make, and really good photos and videos so they can make an educated decision. And then once we have somebody who wants to buy, we want to negotiate. And here's something I want to mention. The highest offer is not always the best offer. The best offer is the highest that will close, okay? Because there are times where you can talk to an investor, you can send them the assignment contract, they'll sign it, and then they will never send the EMD funds, okay? And now you've wasted some of your time because you thought you had a buyer who actually didn't commit with those EMD funds, and that's a little bit of a problem. So you want to make sure that you're working with a vetted buyer who's actually going to close. And when we send the assignment contract, they execute it, we send it to right away to escrow, let them know the contract has been assigned. front, and then we receive the EMD from the buyer, and that EMD is non-refundable. So when I get the contract from the actual seller, I might put down, let's say $1,000, but when I sell it to my buyer, I'm gonna get $10,000 and it is non-refundable. So even if he backs out, I'm gonna lose my $1,000, but I've got his $10,000 that I'm gonna put in my pocket. That's my money and that's their money, okay? So this is how we protect ourselves. And then we take dump trucks of money to the bank. And you buy all the fancy stuff, watches, cars, jets, Grant Cardone style stuff. Just kidding. What you really want to do once you start doing deals is you want to reinvest in yourself. You want to join mentorships. You want to buy your way into bigger rooms. You want to be around other investors who are doing bigger deals so you can start doing bigger deals yourself. Just a quick reminder, the wholesalersblueprint.com is going to get you some information on my course and mentorship, 20% discount. Enter the code GODWINS. Hope this provided some value. Look forward to doing some deals with you guys. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.